Hello, everyone. It's great to be back talking about another Fallout game. I promise this time it's going to be a bit different. So, I've spent about 40 hours playing Fallout 4 now, and I wanted to sit down and share my honest thoughts. I know I'm super late to the conversation, but this was my first time playing it. So, this is my story, my experience, and my opinions on Fallout 4. Let's start at the beginning. I've wanted to play Fallout 4 for what feels like forever. But there was one small issue. My PC couldn't handle it. Back then, I didn't have a proper graphics card, so the game was just out of reach for me. But recently, I managed to snag a GTX 960 for $40. Not the fanciest card by today's standards, but it was like gold to me. And what was the first thing I did? I installed Fallout 4. I'll never forget the feeling of starting it up for the first time. As the intro played, I just sat there, taking it all in. I couldn't believe it. After years of waiting, I was finally playing Fallout 4 on my system. It felt surreal. That was my journey to finally getting into the game. Now let's talk about what really matters, the game itself. When I stepped out of Vault 111 and into the Commonwealth Wasteland for the first time, it was such a mix of emotions. On one hand, it was incredible, this massive, open world to explore. On the other hand, it was sad. The world Bethesda built feels so broken yet alive at the same time. There's this constant sense of tragedy, but it's also filled with hope. Every ruined building, every small settlement tells a story, and that's something Bethesda does so well. Now let's talk about the story. I know Fallout 4's story gets a lot of criticism, especially from fans of New Vegas or Fallout 3. Those games had this deep, branching narrative with tons of player agency. But for me, Fallout 4's story still stood out, and here's why. You're playing as someone who existed before the war. You're not just another wasteland survivor. You've lost your spouse, your child, your entire world. That backstory gave me a personal connection to the character I was playing. The decision to give the player character a voice? That's a divisive topic, but for me, it worked. Hearing my character speak added a layer of emotion that the older games didn't have. Sure, the dialogue system isn't perfect. I won't argue with anyone who says it's frustrating when you can't predict exactly what your character is about to say. But even with that limitation, I found myself drawn into the story in a way I hadn't been in the previous games. Let's shift gears and talk about the gameplay. This is where Fallout 4 really shines. First, the gunplay. It's so much better than the earlier games. I'll be honest, the combat in Fallout 3 and New Vegas always felt a little clunky to me. But here, the shooting mechanics are smooth, responsive, and just plain fun. Every weapon feels satisfying to use, and the variety of guns is impressive. Then there's the customization. Oh man, the customization. This is one of Fallout 4's standout features. You can tweak and modify your weapons in so many ways, turning a basic pistol into a high-powered killing machine, or a laser rifle into something straight out of sci-fi dreams. And it's not just weapons. You can mix and match armor pieces, and even wear clothing underneath them. It's a level of customization that makes every character feel unique. Power armor deserves its own section. In previous games, power armor felt like just another outfit. In Fallout 4, it's a completely different beast. You're not just wearing it, you're stepping into it. It feels heavy, powerful, and important. Every time I climbed into my suit, it felt like I was gearing up for something epic. Now let's talk about the perk and skill system. This is another area where opinions vary. It's definitely more simplified compared to the older games, and I was skeptical at first. But after spending some time with it, I started to enjoy how straightforward it was. It lets you focus on building your character without getting bogged down by overly complex systems. It's different, but not necessarily worse. I can't talk about Fallout 4 without mentioning the companions. They're more interactive this time around. Your actions have consequences. Companions will like or dislike what you do, and that affects your relationship with them. And yes, you can romance them, which adds a fun, personal touch. It makes them feel more alive, like actual characters instead of just sidekicks. Beyond all that, there are so many little things I love about the game. The way settlements work, the detail in the environment, the music, it all adds up to create an experience that's uniquely Fallout 4. Of course, the game isn't perfect. There are things I didn't love, like the lack of true dialogue options or the way some quests felt repetitive. But for me, those issues didn't overshadow everything else the game got right. This was a video I've wanted to make for a long time. Fallout 4 might not be everyone's favorite in the series, but for me, it's been an incredible journey. And hey, these are just my thoughts. What about you? What did you think of Fallout 4? Did it live up to your expectations, or did it fall short? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your take. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.